Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome to another morning wellness wake up together and our first practice of unconditional love. And today I'm really excited to talk about and to remove some of the prerequisites of love that maybe we have learned throughout life or we hold for ourselves. These often hold us back or are the limits to what we allow ourselves to tap into when it comes to unconditional love or receive when it comes to love. And so I'm really excited to practice with you this morning. So let's get to it. The first thing that I want us to start to think about is when you were a child or when you were younger, this is oftentimes where these patterns first start to take place or play out. Oftentimes, maybe you had a parent, a teacher, a family member who maybe made you feel a way like you will be more loved when or if. So, a common example of this is, I'll be more lovable if I get better grades. I will be more loved if I am a good child and I don't get in trouble or cause a ruckus or make a mess. These are often conditions that we have been taught, and the longer we're on this planet, the more conditions that get put in front of us and that we begin to hold ourselves to. So, for example, I notice in my everyday life that I at work do this to myself. I will be more valuable. I will be more loved at work or appreciated at work if I complete more tasks or if I, do these tasks without any mistakes, typos, or do them efficiently with less help from other people. And so these are things that I have taken on and that play out in my everyday life. So I want you to close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so right now. We'll take a breath together. I want you to take yourself back to a time. This could be this week or this could be back to your childhood. It's whatever jumps in front of you in this moment, noticing a time when maybe you either were told love was conditional or maybe you held love conditionally for yourself. Some sort of belief that maybe you began to hold close to your heart and maybe as a wall in front of it. Begin to notice that limit. Begin to notice that belief, that prerequisite to love. And I want you to sit with it and to really feel how little you maybe felt having that condition. And then we're going to let it go. And we're going to tell ourselves and feel that we are lovable even with or even as that form or that part of ourselves. And we can do this for a few different examples if we want to go back to another one and practice this. But this practice is to really recognize these walls, these barriers to love that have been put in front of us by others and that we've kept for ourselves throughout life. It's to recognize them, it's to accept that they are there, and then it's to forgive them and to love ourselves anyways, to love whoever put that barrier there, to love ourselves despite that barrier or that prerequisite. And I think this practice is one of the most important because the idea here is to notice the prerequisites or these limits that we have put in front of ourselves in our love or other people's love. And then we allow ourselves to see it and then to love ourselves anyways. So this practice of removing prerequisites is another perspective of loving ourselves unconditionally, because if we can learn to see these limits, to see these imperfections within ourselves, around ourselves, and if we can still choose to practice love despite these imperfections or these flaws or these things that we have maybe deemed or others have deemed unlovable or undesirable within us, if we can learn to love ourselves with that and because of that, that is where unconditional love starts to unfold, starts to be seen. And I want us to really think about the fact that if we can't learn to unconditionally love ourselves, our flaws, our imperfections, we know all of those parts of ourselves the best. And if we can't start that practice with ourselves, it's going to be extremely challenging and nearly impossible to start to receive unconditional love from the world, from the people around us, and then it'll be really challenging for us to offer unconditional love to others because we can't even offer it to ourselves. So today, the beginning of unconditional love, I want you to take some time to really anchor into noticing throughout your day, right? And becoming aware and recognizing the moments in your day when you criticize yourself, when you have a prerequisite as to why you can't be loved or be good enough in that moment. And if you notice it today, I would love for you to take a moment and to just say that I am worthy of love, I am lovable, even when even when I make a typo in my email, even when I'm late to a meeting, even when I put my pants on backwards. I did that yesterday night after I went to the bathroom. I put my pants back on backwards, and I'm still lovable, even when I do silly and deemingly flawed things in life. I am still lovable, and you are too. You are so lovable. And I hope today that you begin to recognize, you begin to accept yourself and forgive yourself for these prerequisites, for these moments where we haven't been so loving to ourselves. It's a practice. We show up day after day. I'm so happy you're here joining me in this practice. Let me know in the comments below maybe what came up for you. If this was a hard practice, maybe it was easy. I would love to know. I'm going to share in the comments myself. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week, and I will see you tomorrow for another unconditional love practice.